Greetings all, this is Adala, bringing you a new Star Citizen video today. On this channel I share my love for space and flight sims, as well as naval combat games. My current focus is on Star Citizen as it's my favorite game at this point, and I look forward to sharing content with others who may be either considering trying this fantastic game out or to veteran citizens looking for new content. Today's video is entitled Best Ship for Solo Bounty Hunting. Before going further, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I will be showcasing 6 Star Citizen ships ranging from a small light fighter to a sub-capital class ship. The list of ships is just a sample of ships that I had access to at the time, and it represents my thoughts and opinions. I do believe they represent each of the classes pretty well, and I hope that this video will help those who are looking for their next bounty hunting ship to get a better idea of how they perform. I'm relatively new to Star Citizen and to content creation, so if this video is helpful to you, please hit that like button. Appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and provide your comments to help support me. Alright, well, let's get into it then. Before going ahead, I just wanted to point out that this is going to be a pretty long video. The reason for that is that I'll be showcasing several footages for each of the 6 ships. You know, if you do want to skip ahead, you know, go ahead once you've gotten a feel for a ship. But the purpose is just to, you know, provide enough footage that you, anybody considering the ships or wondering about them, has a good idea of what they feel like. Alright, let's move on. Star Citizen is a game in alpha development, and bounty hunting is one of the main game loops that's currently available. It is also one of the most profitable for making in-game currency, referred to as Alpha UEC or AUEC. Bounty hunting is a PvE gameplay mode where the player engages in basically ever more challenging combat against one primary target that may at times be escorted by several other ships. The difficulty of bounty hunting missions goes as follows. Very low risk targets, low risk targets, medium risk targets, high risk targets, very high risk targets, and then extreme risk targets. In the current state of the game, most solo ships are able to handle up to VHRT missions. ERT missions, on the other hand, involve a Hammerhead sub-capital gunship with 200,000 hit points of shield, and there are a few ships that can allow an efficient and safe way to tackle these missions solo. Of course, when flying in multi-crew ships, due to the recent buff in turrets from the new capacitor mechanic introduced in patch 3.14, ERT missions becomes much easier, but the profits then have to be split with your crewmates. For the purposes of this video, we'll only be looking at ships that can be flown solo. Ships in Star Citizen can be classified by size and role, and today I'll be taking a look at 6 ships that represent each class. The first ship we'll start off with is the Aegis Gladius. The Gladius is classified as a small light fighter and is the premier carrier-based fighter of the UEE Navy, so it's an obvious choice for bounty hunting. The Gladius is 20 meters in length, sports 2 size 1 shields providing 3,000 hit points, 3 size 3 guns providing 1,800 DPS. It's one of the most agile ships, only second to snub fighters and interceptors. It has an SCM speed of 208 meters per second and a max speed of 1936 meters per second. The out-of-the-box loadout comes with 2 size 3 repeaters and 1 ballistic Gatling gun, which is what I'll be using for this video. Alright, so here we are. So we're facing a Vanguard, and we're approaching it to within missile range. And we'll see here shortly, yeah, missiles coming in, and so evasion of missiles in Star Citizen right now, it's pretty straightforward as if you have decoys. You know, once you run out of decoys, it becomes a bit more problematic. but as long as you launch a couple decoys, it's fine. So here you can see that, you know, we're keeping the Vanguard on target. We're, you know, pretty within a couple hundred meters of it. I mean, the AI is definitely needs some work. There's quite a lot of desync that happens here in a while, but you know, we're shredding this Vanguard pretty quickly, and it, you know, it is not able to keep its weapons on us, and we're able to keep it in our sights. So that's the advantage of the Gladius and light fighters in general. This is the type of combat that you can expect. Is you know, there we go, and we take it out. Just because we've been able to stick around and rotate around the craft, and it doesn't matter that our DPS is lower. It's because they can't hit us. So in that case, you could see that the Vanguard was just not able to hit us. Here's another example. In this case, we're facing a Hurricane, which is in this 314 meta, is probably the most powerful small ship, because it's got the turret, the man turret that has a lot of firepower. And here we are orbiting it. You know, its shots are, it's able to land a couple shots on us, but we're still, you can see the pip on the left there, that's our movement. We're able to dodge him pretty successfully. As you can see, our shields have not been hit yet. So here it's lost its shields, and it seems to be pretty tanky. You know, it takes a while. I'm using only my laser repeaters here, and I ran out of my Gatling ammunition. So DPS has definitely gone down to probably less than 1,000. I think it's probably at 800 or so, or 1,200, I believe it is with these size 3s. But yeah, here we keep shooting at it, and there it goes. Yeah, I do use coupled mode in these cases, but here's our next target, one of the escorts, which appears to be a Freelancer. So Freelancer is it's a bit of a larger ship, and it's gonna have even more trouble, like trying to hit us. As you know, we orbit around it and basically shoot at it with impunity. Shields are going down pretty quickly, even with our two weapons. So you know, if I had bothered, I would have gone and put a third laser repeater on this ship, and DPS would have been higher up. But the advantage of having only 2 repeaters is that you know, with your energy to weapons, you're able to get I think it's 46 rounds there of the laser. So you're able to shoot for longer. So here it's about to go, and you can see our shields. I haven't even bothered charging my shields because didn't have to, right? That's one of the advantages. And here we have, what is that? I couldn't tell. Probably another Hurricane or a Vanguard. So here we're, oh no, it's a Hornet. It is a Hornet. So another pretty, the Hornet is not as maneuverable as the Gladius, but it does have 6 weapons, so gotta be careful. So the key to this type of combat, if you to enjoy this, is not getting hit. Next, we have the Drake Cutlass Black, classified as a medium-sized multi-role fighter slash freight ship. It is 36 meters in length, so almost twice that of the Gladius, and sports 1 size 2 shields for 7,500 hit points, 4 size 3 weapons for 2091 DPS. Out of the box, it comes with 2 laser and 2 ballistic repeaters. I'm classifying it as an agile ship. It is much less agile than a light fighter like the Gladius, but slightly more agile than a heavy fighter like the Vanguard. It has an SCM speed of 165 meters per second and a max speed of 1114 meters per second. Alright, so in the cockpit of the Cutlass Black, we're approaching our target here. One thing I do like about the Cutlass is that all the MFDs are right in front of you, and I find that really nice about this ship. So here I think we're dodging our first missiles and shooting with our. Oh, there we go. we actually hit an asteroid there. So we're gonna try to shoot with our laser repeaters first, and then once we are closer to the kill, we'll be using our ballistics. Or the other way to think about it is, when you're not very sure about your shot, use your lasers, and when you are for sure within range, very close range and sure, you can use your ballistics. So here, you can see we're still rotating around this hurricane, but we're getting hit. We actually lost one of our engines and our shields, and I'm being quite aggressive here. You can always disengage and charge up your shields. So, but this kind of shows, the fragility of this ship. It is actually quite fragile, despite its 4 size 4 weapons. So you really want to out DPS the enemy. Here I am charging my shields, and you can see that they charge pretty quickly. So on to our next target here. 5,000 meters, evading those missiles. Always try to strafe to the left a little bit. Managed not to get hit too much. Got some hits here, facing this hurricane. A little lazy on our strafing, so we got hit again. But you can see, much more sluggish than the Gladius. This definitely a larger size ship, and you can tell. And this is how it feels like to basically orbit another more agile ship. So trying to get as much DPS as possible. Lost our shields. If I was playing it safe, I would have gone and charged my shields at that point. And here is our next target. And I'm not using missiles, as you can see right now. The point here is, if you use missiles, it's not gonna basically reduce your time to kill. Again, demonstrating the agility, or that was pretty quick actually, due to the DPS. And on to our last target here. See, dodging those missiles, just popping those decoys. And here we are on target, strafing. Almost took out the shields in the first run. Coming back, shields pretty much gone. We're not getting hit, so you'll notice, as we increase in ship size, that's gonna be tougher. We are actually gonna get hit here. We are getting hit and lost our shields. So that's the one thing about the Cutlass right there. Left engine getting hit, boom, it's gone. It's a quite fragile ship, actually. So despite its size, it's got one size size 2 shield, and you know, due to its lack of maneuverability compared to a light fighter, you're actually quite fragile, and you actually get hit, as opposed to the Gladius. We were never getting hit. So it's you know, it's an in-between ship, and you gotta be a lot more careful with it, you know. And here we're you know, we recharged our shields, so went back and recharged our shields. So it's something that you'll have to do, you know, after losing an engine, and are back at engaging it, and again lost our shields. So we're actually getting hit by this hurricane, and so you have to be very careful, you know. All we're trying to do here is out DPS, and having lost our ballistics, as we don't have any more ammo, it's getting tougher, you know. It's just we're getting wrecked, or you know, it's just down to the line here between us. No shields, and we're both red, losing pieces of our ships. So yeah, the Cutlass is having trouble, you know, dodging those shots. I think there we go. I'm trying to charge my shields here, and here we go. We're at full shields, and that's probably going to give us our advantage. There we go. Moving along, we have the Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. This is classified as a medium-sized fighter interdiction ship. It is 2 meters longer than a Cutlass Black, at 38 meters in length, and sports double the shields, having 2 size 2 shields for 15,000 hit points. For weapons, it has 4 size 2 and 1 size 5 hardpoint, although in this video I'm using a size 4 attrition repeater because I have never bothered to actually swap it out. This build sports currently 2400 DPS, but do note that I would run this with a size 5 Light Strike 5 laser cannon for a total DPS of 3510. I classify it as an agile ship, slightly less agile than a Cutlass, but much more agile than large size ships. Sentinels are known to have better acceleration than the other Vanguard variants, but otherwise identical specs. SCM is at 169 meters per second with a maximum speed of 1,116 meters per second. Alright, so here in the cockpit of the Sentinel, facing a hurricane once again. So you'll notice here we're jousting, and the main thing you will start to notice with immediately with the Vanguard series is, first of all, the much higher DPS. Despite me having size 4 weapon instead of size 5 cannon, which would like almost double the DPS compared to the Cutlass Black, and that whole second size 2 shield, giving it 15,000 HP. So yes, we are getting hit here, and we are, I would say, on a similar agility as the Cutlass, but our DPS is just higher. So we managed to kill this guy before our shields are depleted. Here we're back at full shields, dodging those missiles as usual. Not using missiles, as I said, just to show the cannon and sorry, the laser performance of the ship. Here again, another Vanguard just melted those shields, absolutely melted them. We're dancing with each other, you know, and you can see like the DPS is just much higher. Here against the Valkyrie, it's going to be even more hopeless. It's insane how quickly we're just melting those shields generally on the first pass. And our shields are able to tank, you know, when we're getting sloppy, you know, it doesn't matter because we're able to tank much better than the Cutlass. there it goes, right? So definitely you can see the differences there. Here I'm going to show the EMP. The EMP is charging, and I will be trying to EMP this Valkyrie. I'll take a note on the top right there. When that goes red, there we go. We have EMP'd the Valkyrie. This doesn't always work, but it's super fun when it does work. Valkyrie's lost pretty much. It's floating in space. It's got, you know, lost all power, and it's just a sitting duck. So it was a great example of the EMP. Next up, we have the Crusader Industries Mercury Star Runner. Although this ship is classified as a medium-sized ship at 56 meters of length, it is only 5 meters smaller than a Constellation, which is classified as a large ship, and it is 20 meters longer than a Cutlass Black. It sports the same shields as a Vanguard, having two size 2 shields for 15,000 hit points, and two size 3 weapons controlled by the pilot, along with 2 man turrets with two size 3 weapons each. Even though it is a larger ship than a Vanguard, it has an SCM of 215 meters per second and a max speed of 1287, beating even the max speed of the Gladius and way higher than the Vanguard's SCM, which is impressive for a ship that's much larger. But do not let that fool you. I still classify this ship as a moderate agility, as its turning and strafing performance is much more sluggish than the Vanguard or Cutlass. With 1000 DPS, controlled by the pilot, however, I only put this ship on the list to show what it might be possible, and you'll find the results actually quite interesting. Alright, I'm just going to show one clip of the MSR, because as I said, it's not the best bounty on the ship, but it's just wanted to show you what it feels like when bounty hunting and that it is possible. So here it's again, all of these are VHRTs, so the second highest difficulty. We're going against a Vanguard, so not as dangerous as a Hurricane, but we're able to melt the shields, and our shields are tanking it quite well. There it goes, so let's move along to the other two targets. You can see how much more sluggish it is, right? So here we have a Freelancer, so it's another large ship. Our shields are actually pretty bad, in pretty bad shape. I'm not charging them, so we'll see how this goes. Two size 3, so pretty much the same firepower as that Gladius when it ran out of ballistics. So here we are. We're having an okay time, obviously keeping this thing in our sights. I probably should be charging my shields at some point, yeah, we're keeping this Freelancer in our targets with no problems. But you can see how much just more sluggish this thing is. It's taking a bit longer, but it's doing its job. And if you had two friends with you on the turrets, these things would have been crazy dead. But this is just to show you that soloing a BHRT is possible and not very difficult. So almost lost the shields. We've got one target left. Let's see what it is. Drake Buccaneer. So this one is a very agile ship. Oh yeah, I actually managed to charge my shield somehow, real quick. So we're able to keep a certain distance and able to keep this thing in our sights. So pretty impressive for a ship of this size. And there it goes. The Rsi Constellation Andromeda is our first large-sized ship on the list, sitting at 61 meters in length. It sports one massive size 3 shields for 100,000 hit points, 4 size 4 weapons for the pilot. It also has 2 man turrets with 2 size 2 weapons each, but this video is about solo bounty hunting, so we'll not be using those. I do believe 2 of the hardpoints can be size 5, as well, but in this video they're all size 4. The Connie is a large ship, and there is no hiding that fact when it comes to agility. I classify it as a low agility ship like most large ships, with 144 meters per second SCM and 911 meters per second max speed. This thing is not meant to dogfight, but rather to out DPS small ships quickly when it is on target, and target other ships of similar size. In any kind of PvP, it will require manned guns, as the pilot will not be able to track them at all. Alright, here we are in the cockpit of the Connie Andromeda, and we're going to do 2 VHRTs here. I'm going to show you, and then an ERT. So the first thing you will notice right away is that we can't dodge hit. So as you can see from all the blue, which looks amazing, but it means you're getting hit. The second thing you will notice is that the DPS is pretty damn high, and we're able to make short work when we do shoot. Pay attention to the left top and left bottom. You see 8 there, 7 is our front shields. One thing I don't like very much, you know, is when it zooms in and you can't see your MFDs anymore. So you can see that we lost our front shields, or we got a 2% front shield. Trying to recharge here, you see how slowly it recharges. You know, trying to retreat here. But yeah, I will try to probably use track IR here. I do have a track IR, it's gonna help with that. But right now, yeah, it doesn't. When you're shooting at people, it doesn't. You don't always see the MFDs. So here we don't have a lot of. We have 7% front shields, but we probably will out DPS this Valkyrie. We're at 5%, so you can see, you know, we're not agile, but we're able to keep them in our sights, and you know, we're able to maintain that 5% shields, and the DPS is obviously, you know, probably one of the highest here of the ships that we've tried out. Here again, we're getting hit by multiple ships, but we've dealt that DPS back, and was able to take one of them out on the first run. Here we are against a Valkyrie. We're getting hit again, and this is basically the theme of when you're running these larger ships compared to your Gladiuses and your, you know, light fighters. You basically never get hit with those, and here you have to get used to the idea of getting hit, but your shields can tank it. And you know, and charging them back up is gonna take a lot longer. So it's really a race of you out DPSing them before they take out your shields. That's literally what it is. And you can see that, you know, when they're, you know, jousting like this, you're able to land hits. You know, look how long it takes for this thing to turn. You know, you know, if they were doing it properly, they would be orbiting you at 100 or 200 meters, and you wouldn't be able to do much about it. You know, so. But when they're jousting, and here I am looking at those shields, you know, we're pretty much almost done. So here we are in an ERT mission against a Hammerhead. So this is probably, I want to see how we're doing. So here I am trying to take out the escorts, these Valkyrie, before the Hammerhead. I deal with the Hammerhead. So you can see our left, front, and rear shields are pretty much gone already. You know, so it is a bit of a stressful ship to try to solo here. You know, we got that Hammerhead's rain of fire coming our way. So we're gonna try to find this other escort. You can see how crazy sluggish this ship is. We're trying to escape here. You know, full throttle, trying to recharge those shields. So we can see that your shields, front shields are at 20, 21, you know, and that's the only way that we could have actually survived that. So we had to do this. Looks like I'm locking a missile here. We'll see if I actually launch, because I usually try not to use missiles. Oh, I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get rid of this Valkyrie, like, real quick. There we go. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to... This is about me versus the Constellation versus a Hammerhead. Not we've seen that we can handle these smaller ships. So I want to get rid of this guy real quick. Again, we were able to charge our shields, so we can deal with this. Able to keep this guy in our sights. Boom. And now we're in a bad shape with our shields again. So I presume that I would, you know, charge up my shields before engaging the Hammerhead. You can see I'm not at combat speed. I am trying to maintain speed and distance. And here looks like we're engaging the Hammerhead. Let's see, I can't see my shields, unfortunately. But it looks like most of those shots are missing, because if they weren't, we would be pretty much dead. But some of them are hitting. And so, there we go, shield down, yellow, that yellow indicator you see right there on the screen. Our front shield at 0%, left, there we go, finally we can see it. We can only have right shield. So I am pretty sure I would have had to go and charge, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm at 500 meters per second, 600, and I'm gonna charge my shields. It's just the only way. So this shows you that you can't very easily dodge the shots of a Hammerhead, and you will need to do this. You know, the Hammerhead has all three of its shields except for one face down, so it's in better shape than us. So it looks like I'm going to be trying this one more time. Don't have full shields, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Pretty risky. But you can see it's not a very confidence-inspiring ship against the Hammerhead. It's just outclassed. I mean, this is just, I would say, almost cheating. You have to retreat, you know, get your shields up, go back in. You look at it, it's full. It's at full shields again, and we're not even at full shields. So the only way this is going to work is if I can actually get my shields up and get into a position where I rotate without getting hit. So let's see if that's the only way you're going to be able to defeat a Hammerhead, is if you are not getting hit and you hit back. And with the smaller ship you can do that. The smaller the ship, it takes longer because of lower DPS. This has the one of the higher DPSs, but the question is, can we actually dodge the Hammerhead's incoming fire? So here we go, unleashing that those 4 size 4s, and the good thing you can see is we have 169 shots for each of those weapons, which is one of the great strengths of this ship. You really can unleash a lot of hurting for a long period of time. So here we are. Looks like we are dodging their shots and we are hitting it back. So again, I can't see my shield, unfortunately, but doesn't look like they're hitting us. And we don't have that shield down, you know, yellow sign, because then when that happens, we're pretty much seconds from dying. So here we are. Seems like we are at what? I want to say 900 meters. Trying to orbit this guy. I don't have my coupled mode on, so we are in this dance, and it looks like we're not getting hit, and we are hitting back, which is what gives us the win. So there you guys, there you have it. We actually had 11% front shield, so there we go. We were not getting hit, and that was a win against the Hammerhead in the Constellation. Last on our list, but not least, I guess, is the Origin 600i Explorer. Sitting at 91 meters in length, although it is classified as a large ship, it is approaching subcapital territory, as it's almost twice the size of an MSR and more than 4 times the size of a Gladius, and of the same size as a Perseus. The thing is not agile at all, as one might imagine, with a SCM of 109 meters per second and a max speed of 955. However, it does make up for it in DPS and hit points. With 2 size 3 shields, it has a massive 200,000 shield hit points, and it does sport 3 size 5 pilot-controlled weapons, which with its current laser cannon configuration deals 5,250 DPS of damage. It will destroy most ships up to VHRT bounties in seconds, literally, if it can actually manage to hit them. It does, however, struggle against same-size ship, such as the Hammerhead, as we will see shortly. Alright, here in the cockpit of the 600i, and the one thing we'll notice that I have got a missile lock. So the reason is the 600i has what, 16 Arrestor 3 size 3 missiles. So just wanted to try out just to show you know what that does. So here we can see it is extremely sluggish, even worse than the Connie. But you can see from the shields, you know, it's taking a beating, and not only that, it's got even like almost what, twice the DPS with these cannons. And if you manage to hit, it literally takes a few shots to kill your enemies. Look at that. It's absolutely insane, the DPS that the ship has. And you know, you just better hope that they're facing you, you know, and your shields can tank it. So you know, that's what going into combat with a ship of this size feels like. So you know, they, you know, my front shields are at 0%, so they're not like invincible right now. So you know, I'm actually getting my hull is getting wrecked, but you know, that's because I'm being careless. But you know, and this is just a follow-up. So shields are back up, you know, shooting my missiles there to getting hits, and you know, you don't even need the missiles really, because it really it really does an insane amount of DPS with just the guns. So yeah, with this ship, you can basically tank for a long time, and as soon as you have somebody on your sights, like in this guy's dead. Like he won't make it past me. Like, there you go. Now look at how long it takes to do a 180, right? I mean, this thing is, and here I'm fighting this Gladiator. You know, shields are still up. But having a little bit trouble. You can see how bit difficult it is to have these guys on target, keeping these guys on target, and the whole time I'm being shot by this other guy. But as soon as I have got them on target, it doesn't matter. So as I said before, it's just a race between you getting on target and doing burst DPS on these guys before your shields run out, because they will run out eventually, and you'll either have to you know, retreat and recharge your shields, or die, essentially. So here we are, trying to kill this guy before you know, with your size 5s you do have longer range too. Here I'm trying to kill this guy before he makes it even past me, and there it is. So that's one of the best things that you can do in this ship. If you can actually manage to do that, you can actually kill your primary bounty hunting target really quickly, and basically move on to your next bounty and make that money. So yeah, and then here we have this Buccaneer, so very agile ship, but not able to escape, size 5s. Here, getting into range of this, so it looks like a, what is it, a hurricane? Yeah, whatever it is, it's dead. Shields are like pretty much untouched. You can see when when you do manage to keep your targets in your sights, this thing is absolutely deadly. So here's an example of somebody who's just trying to get on target and really having trouble with the ship. Looks like it's a Gladius. There you go. Most maneuverable ship in the game. One of the most maneuverable versus this beast. And you know, it's tough. There you go. Like, he was able to evade my ship. Like, and if this was a PvP scenario, I mean, you would never be able to hit these guys. But since they're AI, it only takes a couple shots, and then this guy will probably go down very soon. But it is taking some time, as you can see. But I mean, it doesn't matter because they can't go through your shields, right? So it really depends on the type of gameplay. If this is the type of gameplay that you enjoy, or if you already have an Origin 600i, well, you know, it just shows that you can do that. So here we have our ERT. We're gonna go up against a Hammerhead, and we're gonna do 2 ERTs. This first one, I'm gonna actually use missiles to you know, take down the HP of that Hammerhead before I have to get within its weapons range. So here we are, just blasting away Arrestor 3 missiles and trying to soften up this target before we have to tank its damage. Because one thing you will notice is that you will not be able to dodge the Hammerhead's shots. Like, you know, in the Connie you were kind of able to some extent, but here we go. Let's see. Again, can't see my damn shields, but I'm not sure if... There we go. We're at 19% shield, so yeah, we're not getting hit, which is a good thing, and we're doing a massive amount of damage. So maybe I take that back. Maybe I take that back, and we're able to orbit this thing without getting shot at. I mean, that is really the entire key of bounty hunting and combat against AI. And looks like yeah, we're dealing good damage and we're not getting hit. I mean, we are actually. There we go. We're at 10%. We're getting hit right now. Maybe it's because we got a bit closer. So it's all about that. If you manage not to get hit, you will actually kill the guy. So we're at 7% front shields. 5%. So we are most definitely getting hit. We weren't getting hit before. And that's the position you want to be in. There you go. 0% shield. But, you know, so at this point, I'm like, it's me or you. I'm not going to go charge my shields. And it's just a race. And there you go. I end up winning. But you will notice on the next one, it's not going to go as well. So on this last clip, it's another ERT, but I'm using cannons only. I haven't used missiles. So not sure if that's entirely the reason why I don't make it here, but you could see. So I'm getting hits, and that shield is pretty much gone on the Hammerhead, right? So that's, and we're at like what, 2,300 meters. So maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the key. You want to do strafing runs on this guy, and you don't want to orbit it, because when you orbit, I mean, you're not a Gladius. You're not going to be able to dodge those shots. So you know, we were able to basically take out a whole bunch of shields without getting hit. So now we're getting hit. I mean, it doesn't show with the blue, you know, VFX. So, you know, the shields getting hit, but we are getting some hits. And I mean, think about it. Each one of these shots is like doing 5,250 DPS on this guy. And it's just a race now, right? Just a race of his DPS versus mine, and mine is actually hitting, and it's just a matter of whether you can dodge his. And as you will see shortly, you know, my shields are probably gone towards the end of this video, and I'm not paying attention to them. And you know, maybe the guy was a couple shots from being dead, but in the end, looks like I was a couple shots from being killed as well, and he gets the kill. So you either, you know, retreat and recharge your shields, which is almost like cheating. There you go, it blows me up. So it is a dangerous venture. Alright, well, that was the last clip of the last ship on this video. It's just past the 45-minute mark, so if you stuck around, well, congratulations, and hope you enjoyed so far. Alright, so let's recap and see what my final verdict is on these 6 ships, or class of ships, I should say. So, here are my final thoughts. You know, the overall theme of the video that you probably have noticed from my latest clips is that you have a trade-off. So, you know, starting with the Gladius, it's a type of playstyle where you are basically dodging and able to dodge sometimes even 100% of shots. Or if you get hit, you're able to regenerate so quickly that it doesn't matter. In exchange for that, you have a lot lower DPS, which means it takes a lot longer to take down ships, which is not a big deal if they're ships of your own size, you know, small and medium ships. But when it starts becoming larger ships, it just takes longer. It takes too long. So it's just an efficiency thing, right? But it is, you know, it is comfortable not getting hit. It does give you a sense of comfort. But at the same time, as you could see from the Cutlass Black, you know, as soon as you know, you make a mistake, you basically have no room for errors, and you know, you will start losing pieces of your ship. So, you know, the Gladius is the best at that, the light fighters. So when I say Gladius, I mean, you know, the Arrow and all of the other light fighters and the other fighters that are close to it in, you know, performance. So there is that. Now, moving on to the Cutlass Black, I feel that, you know, it is okay for what it is, which is kind of a starter multi-role ship that can do kind of everything. You know, it can manage it, but you know, having flown the ship in the bounties, is just compared to these other ships, it just doesn't give me that great sense of confidence that either a Gladius or a Vanguard does. You know, if I wanted more maneuverability, I would just go with it doesn't have the maneuverability of the Gladius, and it doesn't have the firepower or shields of the Sentinel, you know, the Vanguards. So it's kind of like neither one or the other. Like the Gladius is able to dodge, and so it can give up the firepower and the shields. The Vanguard, you know, can't dodge as much, but it's got more shields and more firepower, so you can, you know, it doesn't have to dodge as much. The Cutlass Black is just in that no man's land, right? It does the job, it just doesn't do it very well. So that's my take on the Cutlass Black. You know, the Vanguard, Sentinel, you know, I'm gonna go back to it. As you can tell, it's my favorite ship, right, of the 6. But what I'll say right now is that, you know, it is good enough to dodge most shots, and yet it takes less time to kill than a Gladius. And due to its higher firepower, it can take on some of those larger ships. And I've even taken ERTs in a Vanguard. You know, when you can go and specifically in the Sentinel, you can use your EMP once you take a shield face down, and you can actually disable you know, a Hammerhead. So you know, it can punch way above its weight class, and that's what I love about the Vanguard Sentinel. Now moving on to the MSR. The MSR, you know, well, the only reason I put it here is because it was available in the free fly week. You know, is a top 4 ship that was voted in the ship showdown this year. And all I wanted to do is test it out, and you know, it's quite maneuverable for its size, which was pretty surprising. But you only have those 2 guns, and yeah, it can do the job. Can almost do it better than a Cutlass Black, right? I mean, I didn't do too many bounties in it, but I would put it right there with the Cutlass Black. You know, it's just can do the job, but probably not the most comfortable. The Constellation Andromeda. What do I feel about this ship? Obviously, it can handle VHRT missions pretty easily, and you know, its lack of maneuverability, it was really surprising to me. I thought it would be more maneuverable, but you know, its firepower is ridiculous. Its shields, 100,000 HP of shields, it's really good. So it can definitely do the job, and it's a good ship, right? And we took it against the ERT Hammerhead. You know, it can probably do that too, but it's just you know, it's a big risk, you know, so it's not really worth it for grinding AUAC, in my opinion. Now, so you know, I would say that it's a great ship. You can definitely do VHRTs, but it wouldn't be my top choice because of something else that I will get to here in just a second. Now, moving on to the 600i Explorer. This is just the other you know, I put this ship in as for its extremes. You know, it's got 200,000 HP shields, it's got over 5,000 DPS, and it's just sluggish as hell. So, you know, biggest contrast to a Gladius. Why did I put it in here? Is because, well, it can do the job. You know, it clearly showed that it can take care of VHRTs very easily. You know, it's just a different style. You get hit a lot, but you can tank it, and you're gonna be spending time trying to chase targets. If they happen to be jousting you, you will out DPS them and kill them in 3 shots. And if they're not in front of you, well, then you're gonna spend a lot of time, you know, doing a 180 and chasing them. Once you do get them back on target, you're gonna win. You know, you're gonna tank it, and it does the job. What did we see when we went against the ERT? Well, you know, it's just like the Connie. You know, it can all. It's very skill based. If you can actually manage to stay outside of the firing arcs, you know, of the Hammerhead, you can do okay, right? As soon as you start getting hit, you just can't tank all of that. So so yeah, and you know, so it's risky and it's very skill based. And is it worth that extra 20,000 in AUEC? Definitely not. But so it's good to see that ERTs are difficult, and as they should be, you know, and even for these type of ships. So that's that. And so the last thing that I wanted to mention, and that I haven't covered in this video so far, is what happens in between these clips. So when you're going from mission to mission, you have to spool up your quantum drives, and you know, the targets spawn at 35 kilometers when you quantum in, and you have to traverse 35 kilometers in an asteroid belt. Sometimes it's dark. You have to be able to maneuver against, you know, you won't be able to see them, and it takes a long time in a 600i to slow down or to accelerate to cover that distance. So all of that translates into time lost from one mission to the next, which is definitely something that you don't want when you're trying to grind bounty hunting. So there is that. And so, you know, the Constellation, the 600i, the MSR, they're just really not good at that. They're just the Cutlass, the Gladius, and the Vanguard. They're smaller ships, more maneuverable. They get to the target quickly. That you can maneuver more quickly, and you know, it's gonna cut down on that time a lot better. So based on that, you know, and considering that we're talking about VHRTs as the most profitable and efficient way to make money, so we're left with the Gladius, the Cutlass, and the Vanguard. I already said why I don't like the Cutlass. It's just neither one or the other. So the verdict is my favorite two ships are either light fighters or a heavy fighter like the Vanguard. Either one is really good, but the Vanguard is better. Why? Because you don't need all that extra maneuverability that the Gladius provides to be able to dodge enemy fire. You know, you can tank a little bit, and in exchange you get extra DPS to complete those kills quicker, which saves time, and it is just as maneuverable as a Gladius to get to the, you know, mission to mission to navigate those asteroids. And you know, on top of all of that, the Sentinel itself also offers an EMP, which is just an extra little bit of bonus. You just blast the EMP, and these guys are just, it doesn't always work, but when it does, they float in space. Even Vanguards, you can, even Hammerheads, you can take out all the shields down of a Hammerhead. So a Sentinel can actually do ERTs solo, which is crazy, you know, for this patch. And it gets my vote for best solo bounty hunting ship. And I haven't even used the Light Strike 5 size 5 weapon on it, which would take its DPS from whatever it was, you know, to up to 3,500, you know, and adding an extra 1,000 DPS or whatever, making those kills even faster. So it's just a no-brainer for me. The Vanguard is my ship of choice for bounty hunting. You know, I recently acquired it, and I've grinded most of my money through with the Gladius, which is great. But I was always looking for something that is just a bit tougher and just has that extra DPS, which the Vanguard provides. So there you have it, the gold place winner, the Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. The second place winner would be the Gladius, or any other, pretty much any other light fighter that is of equivalent. Could be, I guess, the Arrow, could be, you know, the Talon and everything else. And you know, third place, I would third place would be probably, I would say the Connie, right? The Connie, it's just a comfortable ship. It's the next comfortable ship, you know, for that. And then fourth place would be probably a tie between the Cutlass and the 600. Honestly, they both suck for different reasons, and they're good for different reasons, right? Like, but probably not my choice. You know, the 600i is just not my style, and the Cutlass is just a little too fragile for my taste. If it had had that extra shield, it would have been good, I would say, like the Vanguard. And last place would be the MSR, because, you know, 2 size 3s not gonna get you very far, but it can do the job if that's the only ship you want to grind for. So there you have it. That's my verdict. Hope that this video was helpful. Sorry that it's gone for so long. I'll try to put timestamps so people can skip ahead, but it is almost like 6 videos in one. And hope that it gave you a good idea on what these ships feel like. and it will help you make an informed choice in your next ship purchase. So thanks for watching. Please let me know your thoughts on your favorite ships for bounty hunting in the comments below. And if, as always, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.